Catherine Dalton in the 40s and 50s was treating premenstrual syndrome patients and menopause patients, but she had lots of patients suffering from poor nutrition who also had PMS problem. And over the years, she was giving them progesterone injections. And after several years of having treated them just for their current symptoms, someone said, it's interesting that your patients' babies are so superior intellectually. And Dalton said, that seems unlikely because they're women with PMS are likely to have pregnancy problems, premature deliveries, and stressed pregnancies. And it's known that their babies average a few points below normal IQs. And so she doubted that the person was right in saying that their babies were superior. So she studied it and found out that all of the progesterone babies were academically superior, just like the chickens. They had better brains for being exposed to the protective metabolic regulator. And I think she said they were typically around 130 IQs instead of 96 IQs as their older siblings untreated with progesterone. So it was about a 34-point improvement in IQ just for that one addition. She didn't pay attention to their thyroid or protein intake or salt intake or any of the other factors.
Wow.
Knowing that, I started telling people about her work, and at the same time, I had realized that doctors had been totally indoctrinated with the idea that oral progesterone is ineffective. People had used progesterone orally for 25 years at the time, but by the 1970s, everyone thought they knew that you couldn't use progesterone orally, so they were giving it by injections. And the solvent used to inject progesterone happens to be neurotoxic. Benzyl alcohol and benzyl benzoate were solvents that were used that were fairly toxic, killed nerves. But despite that, the progesterone was so nerve protective, it still had those beneficial effects. So I looked for some way of convincing doctors to start using progesterone, because not every woman wanted to have regular injections. Sometimes the injection would cause the subcutaneous fat to collapse just from irritation. So that was where I found that it dissolved very well in vitamin E, which allowed it to be taken up with fat droplets, the chylomicrons, which allowed it to get around the liver's metabolic changes, deliver the unchanged progesterone directly to the bloodstream, where it would be delivered directly to cells in the chylomicron form. And in the cells, it happened that locally, right in the mitochondria and other parts of the cell, the vitamin E and progesterone supported each other. Vitamin E had an anti-estrogen effect at those subcellular, intracellular levels, same way progesterone does. So vitamin E and progesterone were synergizing it metabolically. And so I was giving this mixture to all of my friends who were pregnant. Another friend was raising Afghan dogs, breeding them and selling them. And she said that Afghan dogs are typically untrainable because of their personalities. And she was treating, when a dog would have pregnancy problems, she would give them oral progesterone. And she said that the pups produced, not only prevented miscarriage, but the resulting pups had bigger brains and were trainable, uncharacteristic of that breed.
Wow.
And I started collecting pictures of the babies resulting from these pregnancies, and they looked very pretty and healthy, but they were abnormally independent and precocious. Same things that Catherine Dalton had noticed, that her patients were outstanding in all of their academic subjects except of the physical gymnasium classes and art classes, because they didn't follow orders very well. They were very independent in personality, and so they didn't like regimentation of any sort. My friends with the progesterone babies had all kinds of stories about the precocious things they would do. The most recent story, I heard about a couple of them. One of them, I think she's 4 years old. She had just started a notebook. The grandfather told me that she had written out in her notebook some pages with her older brother, her 8-year-old brother's name, and the grandfather's name, and had drawn 3 lines under her brother's name on each day, and 5 lines under her grandfather's name. And he asked what that was for, and she said, I want each of you to tell me, to teach me 3 new things every day. He asked why he had 5 lines and her older brother had only 3 lines, and she said, because you know more than he does.
That's amazing.